Hey boys and girls, welcome back to
Midgame Life Crisis!
I am Inconsistency and with me is Werewolf. What's up, my man?
Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're gonna talk to you about the new expansion of RoboCop Unfinished Business.
Oh yeah.
And how we feel it was heavily inspired by Dredd, the movie from 2012.
Yeah, before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, we just want to mention, if you haven't played the first game, RoboCop Rogue City, it's a good recommendation for me, and I think you recommend it as well, especially if you like the movies.
Oh yeah. As far as it goes on being RoboCop, they fucking nailed it.
Yeah, Teyon are really good about that stuff. It's a small Polish company. They did both Terminator, Resistance, and the RoboCop game, and now they're...
and Rambo, but let's not
mention that one.
He's a man, not a god.
He's a man, not a god. Come on, comrades. He's a man, not a god. Come on, comrades. He's a man, not a god.
But yeah, this one looks like it, even though it is obviously an expansion for the RoboCop game and it's still RoboCop, it seems like it's very, very heavily inspired by Dredd, the movie. If you haven't seen, from 2012, it's a movie with Karl Urban, and it's one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best sci-fi action movies, like top 10, top 15.
One of my most favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Really,
chef's kiss, that movie.
So much
really
better than the terrible Sylvester Stallone, cheesy Judge Dredd movie.
DNA is a perfect match for Judge Joseph Dredd.
It's a lie! The evidence has been falsified! It's impossible! I never broke the law! I am the law!
But that movie has its charms, right?
Yeah, sure.
But it's a campy, stupid movie. This one is just a good movie. Dredd is just a good fucking sci-fi movie.
It's better in every aspect.
Yes.
Costumes, story, vibes,
100%.
everything.
So we want to talk to you guys about basically how those two, the movie and the game, it seems like the game is heavily inspired by the movie.
The game is giving a huge nod to this movie.
Yeah. Let's get into explain what we mean.
So, basically, from the get-go, the two franchises, the RoboCop franchise, not even the games, just the RoboCop franchise from the 80s.
Yes.
And the Dredd
the
franchise.
Verhoeven movie.
Yeah, the Verhoeven movie. Paul Verhoeven, shout out.
Shout out to the man. No one does blood squibs better than Paul Verhoeven in movies, bro.
I am now authorizing this physical force.
Yeah. He's a talent, for sure. So, RoboCop, the franchise, and the Dredd movie, they have amazing similarities from the bat. Both are dystopian.
Yes.
We're talking about a corporate dark future.
Yes.
Where crime is rampant and is a power to be reckoned with, and police is either non-existent or privatized.
Yeah, basically a huge corporation.
Yeah.
Basically, think Google being starting to police you on the streets.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
In like 20 years from now.
Not just a company policing you, that's the one that owns the police. Every corporate has like its own militia. It has its own armed force that is their security force, and it's like a small army.
Yeah, exactly. And this is like a theme in both movies, and in obviously the game is basically a replication of the movie. So you could say the movies and the games are extremely inspired from each other. Not to mention the violence in the games and in the movies. I mean, come on. Verhoeven had like a stretch in Hollywood where he made Total Recall with Schwarzenegger, an amazing movie in my opinion.
See you at the party, Richter!
Unbelievable.
Also top 10 greatest sci-fi action movies ever made. He made obviously RoboCop 1, right?
Yep.
RoboCop 2 is not by him, but I also love RoboCop 2, and it's also an extremely violent movie, by the way, but not as nearly as
Even
good.
if you just focus on RoboCop 1.
Yes. What else did he make?
They both take like violent scenes and show it like it fits so well into the vibe of the movie, into the theme, that it doesn't feel like it's unnecessary violence, you know?
Yes.
It feels like it's a part of that world naturally.
Yes.
And they managed to give you that sense of horrible future where human lives and human well-being is just not a factor in anything.
It's a very both franchises. It's a very cyberpunky, dystopian, corporate heavy, policing your thought, trying to police the crimes. right, on the street with like...
Yeah, there's overpopulation, human lives means nothing.
It's the government and the corporations are basically having to go to extreme measures to reduce the crime. If it's in the Judge Dredd world, it's basically giving those dreads, those
they are everything. They are judges, executioners, and the police force.
And you even have that. We are judges and executioners. You have that line in the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's a huge nod.
In the teaser for Unfinished Business.
Yeah, she says, what are we, judges?
Yeah, because it's all...
What do you want us to be? Judges? Executioners?
They kinda are, even in the RoboCop world. RoboCop himself is basically mostly killing people.
Well, he's supposed to, but he's supposed to arrest them and bring them to court.
He's trying to, because he, just like Judge Dredd, he is programmed to be completely by the book. He is a straight arrow, but Judge Dredd is a straight arrow by his personality.
Let's keep the comparison between the two for later.
We'll get to that part later, okay?
So the expansion is set to take place in a huge mega structure.
Yes.
Okay, a corporate mega structure. The entire theme is you climbing your way up.
Yeah. And the poster, you can see it on the poster. The poster reminds you of the poster from Dredd.
You just switch RoboCop with Judge Dredd and it's
and
different thing.
And the color tone, like you have those bright, in the teaser you see those bright red lights going off, and it's very dark, like it's
gray and smoky.
Yeah, the people he fights against, the goons he fights against, remind you a little bit of the goons Dredd fights against in the movie. There's so much similarities. I love how it's like a homage to the movie. It's obvious that they were inspired by it, and the building does look it looks
the same,
bro. I love it.
There's a play with elevators there, and you can see into the other floor. It's
the graffiti, the color palette, everything.
Yeah, everything.
The gray, smoky, red lightning in the background, right? It's so great. I love it.
Gore heavy, violent to an extreme.
Yes, everything is extremely violent. Listen, Dredd is not nearly as violent as RoboCop, all right? Like the movie, the movie Dredd is not nearly as violent as the movie.
What?
Yeah, it's not nearly as. Listen, RoboCop, you have the part with the fucking guy who
comes out of acid.
Yes, and gets exploded on the.
Bro, you have in the get-go scene of the movie, 3 people are being skinned alive, thrown from the 30th floor or whatever, with a slow-mo drag, and they hit the floor in front of a mother and her infant, turning into a sack of grounded bones and meat. What are you talking about?
Well, all of that is true, but it still doesn't, I can't see it in my mind as hard as I see that scene with the dude getting exploded on the fucking car. I think that, and even
both are extremely violent.
I'd argue the Verhoeven movies are a lot more. I mean, come on, the execution of Alex Murphy, it's fucking so over the top, bro. The squibs there are going crazy. There's no CGI blood back then, bro.
I know.
It's great. Listen,
I did not say RoboCop is not violent. I was fighting
violent.
I was fighting your point saying Dredd is not as violent. It's extremely violent.
I also reminded the third movie he made in the stretch. I said it was RoboCop. It was Total Recall, and of course, how can we forget Starship Troopers?
To fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
Man, come on, another classic goddamn movie. The dude used to be. Those 3 movies are some of the 3 best sci-fi movies ever made. Period.
And all of them made into successful games.
Yeah, Total Recall? No.
No, Total Recall has a game. It should.
Starship Troopers has a game.
Teyon, Total Recall.
Yeah, like Sky. What's it? Helldivers? Helldivers.
Yeah, Helldivers.
Helldivers is heavily inspired by Starship Troopers. Obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah, what else?
Watch our video about it.
Yeah, so now let's go to the characters themselves. The character of Judge Dredd and the character of RoboCop, Alex Murphy.
Yeah, the subtleties here are fun, you know, because on paper they seem like the same
before you get into it, I think it's important to say that Alex Murphy, the human, is very different from Dredd.
Yeah.
It's just when he becomes RoboCop.
No, we're talking about RoboCop and Judge Dredd.
But it's very important to emphasize that because we didn't say that in the introduction. The expansion apparently will have sections where you are playing a flashback
flashbacks of
Alex Murphy.
Yeah.
So that's important to mention because those parts will probably not have anything to do with inspiration by Dredd, right? It's only the main part, the main story of the game where you are RoboCop and going up the floors to the main boss in the building that is heavily inspired by the movie, right?
Sure, but this is one of the subtleties that makes the juxtaposition of RoboCop against Judge Dredd show you that they are very different, even though that they seem the same. Because on paper they're both like follow the law to the letter.
Straight arrows,
straight arrows. Judge Dredd, so many ways they're showing you this. He sees everything black and white. There is no gray area with this guy.
Yeah, no.
Nothing. Black and white, that's how he sees the world.
Yeah, shades of gray is like blasphemy for him.
Nothing, it doesn't exist. He doesn't even understand it.
Yeah.
They show him that mutant that is going to be with him, and that chief judge, she's like the ultra boss of judges.
Yes,
like,
yes.
He should be revering her, right? She's like the boss.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much respect for authority.
No, he's just cold as ice. He just stands there. Karl Urban is doing this great. His portrayal is amazing.
And
amazing.
His face is covered the whole movie.
Half covered, yeah.
Another
You only see the mouth.
Yeah. And he does convey so much just with his fucking mouth.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
The twitches of his lips.
Yes.
Like the edge of his lip.
Yeah.
Talented.
Yeah,
the guy is amazing.
Yeah. You know, there's two things I want out of this video to happen. One, I want people to watch the movie, the 2012. If you haven't watched that movie, go watch it after this video, after you press like, right?
Yeah.
It's
very underrated.
Yeah.
It's very
extremely underrated.
Yeah, it's overlooked.
It's a small budget, small scale movie, and it does so much with it, with the budget they have, so much. And the other thing I want people for listening to this video is that they give Teyon's RoboCop, the game, a chance, the RoboCop Rogue City. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's a great game. And
if you like the movies,
yes,
it's natural to try.
Yeah. And now back to the subtle differences between the characters.
Yeah, so I was saying, Dredd has no gray area. You see it in the scene with the mutant where the boss is trying to tell him like she nearly passed. She was like 0.0 something off the final score, so it's marginal. And he's like correcting her. It's like, it's not marginal. She failed.
As I said, her final score was only 3 points below a pass. It's marginal.
It's not marginal. She failed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she didn't pass. There's black and white. There is no gray area with this guy. And for him he never goes out of that, you know?
No. He lives by a code of ethics, and he embodies in many ways what the judges are. He embodies that to perfection. Even though spoilers to the movie, by the way, obviously we're going to spoil the fucking movie. It's from 2012, go watch it. But if you haven't watched it, skip this part. At some point, they send other judges to fight him, right? Corrupt judges. Yeah. He's such a pure, but they know him, they know of him.
Of course,
because
he's a legend.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a walking legend, right? Because he is literally the embodiment of law.
Yeah.
He's a law, he's an execution.
He is the law.
He is the judge, jury, and executioner, 100%, right? You can remove the jury, it doesn't matter. There's only judge, he's judging if you're guilty or not. If you're guilty, you're done. Either you go to prison or you die, right?
The man is a living law machine.
Yes, and he's not.
The entire movie is fighting up the building and throwing people out and fighting and nearly dying and saving hostages and whatnot. And then it's just like another day at the office. What happened in there? Perps were uncooperative.
So what happened in there?
Drug bust.
Looked like you've been through it.
Perps were uncooperative.
And yeah, that's how he sums it up. He sums up
So
the
there's
whole
only one
movie.
word.
He sums up the whole movie where he almost died 1,000 times and his partner nearly died as in one sentence.
Yeah.
Perps were uncooperative. I love it, bro. And he says it with a completely straight face.
Yeah.
It's not like he has too much a sense of humor. At least not the normal.
It's not cynical or nothing.
Now let's compare it to RoboCop.
Yeah. So RoboCop
is programmed to do those things. Unlike Judge Dredd.
Exactly. He's programmed to be the law.
Yes.
So even in the game, And also in the movies, they show you that conflict that he has with Alex Murphy, the human inside of him, is that Alex Murphy had that idealism of the hero.
Yes.
He had his son he wanted to impress, and he wanted to be like the son's hero, who does with the gun thing, So this can't be going exactly by the law, because if he sees that the law is contradicting being the good guy, he will prefer being the good guy. This is Alex Murphy. And this is exactly where RoboCop is trying to stray from being the black and white lawman, because the human inside of him is not letting him be robotic like that.
I'd say if you want to compare the two characters, only from the movie Dredd and from the movie Endgame of RoboCop, it's the biggest differences, in my opinion, is that RoboCop is always struggling with his identity. Am I human? Or am I a robot? Am I a father, or someone who used to be a father and a husband to my wife and children? Or am I this machine that all he does is keep the law and go kill a bunch of people?
Is my directive coming from my heart or from a code line?
Or from a code line, and that makes him a bit more of a what would you say, a bit deeper character than Judge Dredd, at least from what we see in the movie. In the comics, it gets a lot more into the history of Judge Dredd.
But even in the movie,
they hint
exactly
to his history.
They hint to his history, and they hint to layers, because, for example, with the mutant, he said she's a pass.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And she lost her firearm. That's an
old
auto
violation.
fail.
Yes,
that's an auto fail. He said it at the start.
Yeah.
If you lose your weapon or give it taken away for you, that's an auto fail. So he didn't follow the letter of the law in this.
That is the first, the
one and only case, exactly. So they're showing you that he does have a layer of where he makes a judgment call that is not the letter of the law.
But they don't delve into his history as much as they do in RoboCop, right? You see a RoboCop before he's RoboCop. You see him as Alex Murphy. So
and you see the flashbacks,
you see his humanity.
You see a lot of things.
That's a big difference between the two, but there's still so much, like we already mentioned, in common in between them, right? Both straight, in the end of the day, they're both straight arrows. They're both like machine-like in their behavior. They're both fucking killing machines.
Killers.
They're both legends of their like districts. Anyways, let's sum it up, because I think I want to wrap it up.
All right.
So basically, Teyon have a very good track record of turning these classic franchises like Terminator,
classic movie franchises.
Yes, those classic movie franchises like Terminator and now RoboCop to games.
Game adaptations.
Yes, I really hope that they get Rebellion's license. Rebellion is the guys who made all the Sniper Elite games, and they have Atomfall just came out, and that game is from Rebellion as well. They made the Sniper Elite games, and they have the license.
As far as we understand.
Yes, they have. Last time we checked, they have the license for Dredd, for Judge Dredd. I would love. They're both small, relatively small companies. Rebellion is bigger, but still. I would love for Teyon to manage to get that license from them, to buy it or loan it from them, and make a Judge Dredd game. That would be amazing. And it seems like they want to do it from the obvious influence we see in this unfinished business expansion.
They have got good vibes with that movie, and this is what makes them talented in getting the spirit of these movies into game adaptations.
I think this is almost like this. We haven't played it yet, obviously, but just from the teaser and from what we've seen and read, and I'm sure more information about this will come out in the future when it's closer to releasing. This feels like a love letter or a homage to the Dredd movie.
What we're saying is, it seems like Teyon took that familiar formula, successful formula of heavy packed extreme violence in verticality.
Yes, going up and killing everyone, getting to the main boss. Whether it's Mama or whether we don't know who's the main boss in the unfinished business.
And this entire thing is with a huge nod and homage to Judge Dredd, and I'm here for it. It looks great.
It looks amazing. That's it, guys. Midgame Life Crisis. I am Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
We are out.
Bye.